Myths of the Machine is brought to you by our sponsor, Mighty Man Limited. Be a master of the universe when you wear Mighty Man Limited athletic and sportswear, custom-designed athletic compression gear for male and female athletes, compression shirts, sports bras, yoga pants, hoodies, and more. Available only at mightyman.logosoftware.com. Be mighty. Since the time when men gathered around campfires and told tales of the warriors who challenged the monsters that gather in the dark. The mighty men who fought alongside the gods, some rising to victory, others falling to the abyss. These are the heroes who became the myths of the machine. And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? August 1989, in a squalid Bronx apartment on Eagle Avenue, behind heavy-drawn curtains, a very large, dark-skinned man sat, watching television, waiting for a phone call.
Yeah.
You know who this is?
Yeah.
The time is now. You killed this black tiger.
Yeah, boss.
And the receiver hung up. Just one shot. That's all he thought. Just one shot, and it would change everything. The large, dark-skinned man walked up the tenement building stairs in one of the nicer neighborhoods in Queens. He opened the roof access door, walked out onside into the nighttime sky, and found a position on top of the elevator tower. He unzipped his workman's tool bag to produce the broken down pieces of a .50 caliber sniper rifle, and he began to assemble it. Just one shot. He could leave this city once and for all. He could go anywhere. He could go back home to the islands. He could live in South America. He could travel the world on a yacht. Just one shot, and he would be taken care of. The tall man would reward him nicely for the assassination of the Black Tiger. The Black Tiger was a costume vigilante who had been running havoc over the local gangs in the Bronx, and Queens, and Manhattan for the last year and a half. No one knew who he was. No one knew where he came from. The heavy, dark-skinned man, he had a feeling. Something drew him to this spot. His reputation had been established for many years because something would always draw him to the right spot. And at that right spot, he would usually find the target of his recent assignment. And every time, the target was dispatched. This time, this target, everyone would know. The famous Black Tiger, New York's costumed crime fighter. His name would be famous forever. The Duke, the one and only, the man who shot the Black Tiger. It was a great honor for the tall man to request this task of him, and he wasn't going to mess it up. So he waited patiently on the rooftop, where that special sense told him this was the spot. Thin, pale fingers placed the phone receiver back into its cradle. The man sat back, grinning to himself. It's going to be done now, boy. You see?
Yeah, boss, I see.
That's right. We take this Black Tiger out once and for all. We run New York City.
That's true, boss. What about Italians?
No. We no worry about the Italians. This Black Tiger, he vexes them too. We take him out. These Italians, they owe me favor. And trust me, I collect in spades. You take these boys. You go out now. Your do job has to be done.
You got it, boss.
The man named Earl nodded to two men sitting there and walked out the door. As they walked out, the thinner of the two spoke.
That's what I'm saying, man. You mean Ragamuffin gonna fuck Black Tiger up, man. That's it for the Black Tiger now, man. Ragamuffin gonna run this shit.
The man in the leather chair sat up.
Hey!
Bring this boy here back.
Yeah, boss. This one?
Yeah, man, that's him. Yo, boy, come to me. You talk to me again. What you say?
Nothing, boss. I just say that you gonna fuck up. You gonna fuck that black tiger up, man. You gonna bust a cap in that motherfucker's ass, man, right? You get the Duke on his ass, right?
Nah. But what you call me out my name, Ragamuffin?
I didn't mean nothing by it, boss. I just don't mean nothing by it. It just slipped.
It just slip. You just slip. Call me Ragamuffin in front of me, man. Who you think you be, boy? Get your ass over here.
No, boss, no.
You take this boy out of here. You teach him lesson. One more time.
You got it, boss. Let's go, you.
You know, bring him back into my office. Me no want to see him again. It had been a long night, and the Black Tiger had done his 4 hours of rounds, and it was time to go home. He had a fiancée waiting there, in the apartment they shared, in Briarwood, Queens. He made his way across the adjoining rooftops, from building to building, able to jump from one to the next, where there was a gap that separated one building from the other. This would prevent many people from tracking him normally, if they were able to spot him at all, that is. His black costume made him almost invisible against the nighttime sky. The tiger had a routine. He would alternate his routes home, this way, if anyone was able to follow him. The altered path every time could possibly lead them astray and give him the advantage he would need, maintaining the concealment of his home base. But he had picked up some tricks. Just a month ago, he had picked up from the Army-Navy surplus store an old pair of Soviet night vision goggles. In the last blocks, before he would return to his home, he would scope everything out with the patience of a cat, making sure that the coast was clear before he made the final approach to his own home lair. Blocks away from that home, Black Tiger stood on the rooftop and activated the night vision goggle. Everything seemed clear to the left, but to the right, he could see someone on a roof, laying prone. Cold black area. That didn't look good. That didn't look good at all. And he was pointing directly at the apartment his fiancée, Sarah, lived. The Black Tiger would investigate. The Black Tiger approached the man laying prone, his eye to the scope, quietly, gently, stalking just like a big cat would. The Black Tiger took a position behind the man without him noticing.
Yo, something I could help you with?
With that, the large man rolled to his right. The rifle that had laid in the tripod in front of him immediately swung around, peeling off a shot. In the last second, the Black Tiger was able to grab the barrel with his left hand. It whizzed past his head. That was close. Closer than he was used to. He attempted to pull the weapon from the man's hands. Unfortunately, it pulled the man from his prone position into a standing position, the two of them momentarily looking at each other, their eyes meeting with all four hands on the sniper weapon. But the Black Tiger knew the weapon was empty. He released it and kicked, putting a booted foot into the large black man's chest, sending him backward into the roof parapet. The man held the rifle now like a club and swung it overhead. The Black Tiger, backpedaling, was able to avoid the swings. When the man had swung the rifle to where the butt had hit the rooftop, the Black Tiger hit him with a long... The large black man dropped the rifle, rolled backward onto the roof. The Black Tiger followed in and pummeled him with a series of blows. The man was staggered. The man reached behind him, this time pulling two blades in either hand from behind his back, and swung, slashing savagely at the Black Tiger. The Black Tiger reached to his own belt and pulled from their casing a pair of extendable metal nunchucks and swung them back.
Come on, here, you want to play? Come on!
The flailing metal disarmed the man of his knives. First one, then the other, and he stood there, first holding a wrist, then swinging his right hand to his hip. He pulled from a holster a .45 caliber handgun and let off a series of shots. The Black Tiger hurtled at the man with the discharging firearm, swinging his metal nunchucks until one of the bullets caught the flail, sending the pair of nunchucks flying to the rooftop and sending the Black Tiger running for cover. Pinned down behind the roof's stair access tower, the Black Tiger looked around for an exit. He was on the wrong side of the building. All there were, in three directions, was an 80-foot drop, and no fire escape, and no building to jump to. His only option was to go back in the direction where the man was firing the gun trying to kill him. Disarmed of his nunchucks, the Black Tiger was without tools, without his gear. The Black Tiger did not have the means to create a distraction to close the distance between him and the gunman. Shots continued to fire out, getting closer and closer. The gunman, more brazen, seeing that the Black Tiger hadn't responded, made his way closer and closer to the tiger's hiding spot. The Black Tiger realized he had one option: the night vision goggles. He pulled them from the small pouch on his hip. He stood quickly while gunfire sliced the air around him and hurled the Soviet-made night vision goggles in the direction of the man with the gun. The goggles hit the man square in the face, breaking his nose, blood instantly running from it. The man's left hand reached up and grabbed his nose as he hunched forward in pain. That was all that the Black Tiger needed. 2 moves. He was on top of the man, and he began to pummel him. First he disarmed him, grabbing the gunman's wrist with 2 hands. He wrenched in one direction, twisting it unnaturally, until he heard his shoulder snap, and the gun fell and skidded across the roof. The large man groaned in pain, consciousness slowly fading from his eyes. The Black Tiger, exhausted, stood over the man. He made his way across the roof. The Black Tiger pulled from his belt utility pouch a small flashlight that he shone across the rooftop, looking for his nunchucks. When he found them, he turned off the light quickly, picked them up and noticed that they were ruined after being hit by the .45 caliber bullets. They were useless. Momentarily distracted by the damaged nunchucks, the Black Tiger didn't realize that the large man had regained consciousness and was making his way towards him, the lumbering figure closing in on the masked man. When suddenly, from somewhere in the distance, a shot rang out, and the large black assassin's head blew apart like an overripened tomato that had fallen to the floor, brains and bone fragments raining to the roof behind the large man. The Black Tiger, still kneeling, leaped and rolled, attempting to find cover behind the roof parapet. Another sniper! What in the hell was going on? The tiger didn't stay in this position for long. He scurried low, underneath the roof parapet, to the far side roof fire escape exit, and made his way down the ladder. The Black Tiger had no idea what was going on. Not one sniper, but 2. And why would the one sniper kill the second sniper? It didn't make sense to him. He made his way to the street level, before running across the street and finding cover in the shadows. There would be no way he could go back on the roofs without the night vision, and he had to get back home. And he couldn't do it dressed like a midnight vigilante. The tiger removed his custom tooled leather mask, revealing the face of Wendell Drake, Del Drake to his friends. Taking his mask, he stuffed it in the side pocket of the black striped utility trousers that he wore. Del cautiously doubled back, circled around several blocks, always looking up to make sure that there were no additional snipers, until he finally made his way to the apartment in Briarwood, Queens. Del walked into the lobby, summoned the elevator, entered the elevator, pressed the button, and the lift took him to the floor he desired. On a rooftop 1 mile away, 5 men in black ninja outfits stood silently, while the white-haired giant peered through a pair of binoculars, watching Wendell Drake walk into the lobby of the Queens building. The giant handed the binoculars to one of his aides, while his eyes narrowed, his overgrown Asian features twisting into a scowl. The Black Tiger is mine to kill.